Hi there, lovely people. Good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing two episodes. As usual, I try to do in pair. So today, first episode, I'll do a fragrance which I did before, like few years back, in a video where I perhaps featured 3 to 4 fragrance or 2 fragrance. Okay, so this was one of them. This is John Varvatos vintage. Okay, and that was not my bottle. That was my friend's bottle. Um, Perhaps we are no longer friends, but anyway, so we are not in touch. But I reviewed many fragrances from his collection. So this was back then. So I finally got this. I saw it in one shop, and these fragrances, I'll let you know why I decided to get this, what it smells like, performance, if it's worth it, price, seasons, similar to something typical. Okay, and the time is around 6:15 here. Peaceful and quiet morning, but the country is not peaceful at all. We are having really bad situation here, like one of the worst in my 43-year-old life. I never seen anything like this, in my country. Right now, you guys know about the student movement. They are being arrested left and right from streets, from the house at night, late night. It's a very scary situation. So we are having really like tough time, especially the civilians. So keep our people in your prayers. Okay, so hopefully this evil, whatever this thing is happening, will be defeated one day. Okay, so here is the fragrance once again. This is 125 ml 2006 release, and this is from House of John Varvatos. I am not quite sure if still are producing fragrance, because I thought they sold their house, or maybe they're not going to produce anymore. So there are new fragrances out, like there's something like teal, some of the new ones I never seen them in market, and their prices back in the days used to be 35, around that dollars, 30 $35 this fragrance. But nowadays I think this thing you have to pay 45 to $65, give or take. If it's rare, then it will be like much more. Some people are selling this for 85 to $105. Okay, so that is not cheap. So what once used to be 35 bucks is now somewhere 45 to 65. So 60 125 ml is good thing. One good thing, maybe they have multiple bottle sizes. They do have this snake skin sort of pattern on the box, says the name of the house. I really like their font. Okay, and this is in EDT concentration. Nothing much going on. This is an American house, I think. Could be, yeah, it is an American house. So this is the beautiful bottle. Once again, if you haven't seen my old video, these are very vintage looking bottles. They sort of remind me of old whiskey bottles, or something like, like back in the days, vintage bottles. This is very beautiful touch. Okay, so the amber color bottle, some of the Zara fragrances have these, okay, color bottle, but this wrap is really nice, beautiful. So there's also original John Varvatos for men. I think this is developed from that, and then added on top of that a lot of other notes. The cap and everything looks very beautiful. I really like the way this bottle looks. I'm sorry, a little bit of dust on the bottle. So nice little bottle. The cap is not click. It is sort of snug fit. I'm wearing the fragrance in my hand. Let me respray. Sprayer is not anything to brag about, but okay, decent job it does. So let's talk about performance on this, or let's talk about seasons. This perfume, I think, will be perfect fall to winter season fragrance. Why I say that? Because this one, it smells like, the DNA smells like it loves the uh, cold weather. Okay, this is typically like a cold weather special fragrance. So you'll be saying, can I not wear this in summer? Yes, you can, in the AC room, air conditioning room, or climate control zone, however you say it, you can wear that. But keep in one thing in mind, maybe winter or summer, John Varvatos fragrances are not known for their performances. Okay, I have few of the other ones. I sold few. I had Artisan Blue. I have Artisan Blue. I sold, of course, not wearing it. Artisan Aqua. I have a backup bottle of it. This is my most favorite. Then this is also very hard to find now and expensive. Dark Rebel, and also Dark Rebel Rider. These are my favorites. And recently, just before this, I got John Varvatos Oud. This was my repurchase. I actually had it. I sold it back in the days. So John Varvatos is a house I really like. Reason being, they are not doing anything much of cloning. Okay, I don't know if you notice that major houses like Designer, Niche, everybody copy each other, like Baccarat Rouge or Sauvage or Aventus. This sort of DNA, everybody tried to replicate and try to get sales. So a few houses like common, like rare houses, are like Amouage. I really like them. They don't copy anybody. So Maison Francis Kurkdjian in certain way, I like in a lot of ways. But middle, like designer house, many houses, like they are kind of like not really unique. Okay, very few houses they do that. So this fragrance basically is part of that family. Okay, if you are in love with house like Aramis, okay, it's a classic vintage house. This is like for me like that. Okay, so the performance whenever it's not great, you have to go 6, 7, 8 sprays on the shirt to make this fragrance a little bit long lasting, like 3.5 hours. That's as much as I got from it on the shirt, and after that it disappears. So performance, whatever you do, is not going to improve. Perhaps you can put a little bit of I don't know what you call Vaseline and then try it. You can do some hacks, or ISO is super, but this fragrance is not really like the most out there. Okay, so keep it in mind. So that I would say maybe a bit of weakness of this perfume, but then again they give you 125 ml, so you can use a little bit more. So perhaps in one winter you can make the juice from here to here if you like it that much. So notes wise, I can remember all the notes. There's a lot of notes. I remember only the uh, like the barber shop sort of like a spicy tobacco, but it also has like, okay, from Fragrantica it has rhubarb, quince, pepper, wormwood, basil, fennel, then cinnamon, juniper, lavender, green leaves, orris root, that could be like iris perhaps, jasmine, then the big notes of tobacco, suede, these two are big notes, and balsam fir, tonka beans, woody notes, oak moss, and patchouli. So if I claim I smell every single of those notes in this perfume, it's going to be a big lie, because most of the time I tell you the notes for you, but I'm not a note specialist. Note specialist would be someone like a Mark, like a fragrance reviewer, or Sebastian Zara. I cannot detect things like patchouli and stuff. I detect very basic things like boozy notes, if it smells like whiskey, or it smells like tobacco, it smells like smoke. These things I can pick up, and the fruity citrusy notes are my specialty. So this thing is not a fresh perfume, as you can see from right the nose breakdown. Even the juniper berry, rhubarb, quince, basil, these things are kind of like a green fruity vegetal notes. This is actually a dark fragrance. If you are in love with fragrances like Spice Bomb Extreme from Vector and Rolf, or Burberry's London, which is a bit more sweeter take on like a wine, and then tobacco, but they all are connected. Then as a Azaropurum, okay, or Azaropurum Nighttime, or I don't know, Onyx. If you know Black Onyx, sorry. So if you know those perfumes, this is going to be like reminding you of all those perfumes. Like it will definitely remind you. It has this sweetness about it in the opening. It disappears in 10 minutes. So then it starts getting like really warm, cozy. And imagine like being at an old style barbershop in a Western city. Like if you see these old Western films, everything is built on the wooden houses, small towns. I used to watch this TV series called Border Town in my young days. That's a very old 80s, 90s TV series with the cowboys, town marshals, and sheriffs. So I really enjoyed that horse, the posse, and then the gunfight, Western films. I like these theme movies because we are men, we like action. So if you like those kind of things, the outlaw sort of vibe, this is going to work for you. It's a bit old school style perfume, but very vintage. That's the name. That's why I think they try to put the name. Many people love this. Many people hate it. Some people say this fragrance is overhyped in the community or YouTube by certain reviewers. I will tell you, like, let me put it here. My 2 cents on this perfume is this is for built for a little bit of mature crowd. If you want to get a fragrance from designer side, they have some originality. Okay, this is kind of original. This is built on the original John Barbados for him, but more darker. So the phases on this, even though it's not very much like 4 or 5 hours development, but whatever you get within this span, you enjoy every single phase of it. Okay, Burberry's London would be a better choice. If you talk about value, that would be cheaper than this and a little bit longer lasting. So it will be personal enjoyment. If you're reading a book, you're getting a haircut done in the old school barbershop place, it smells a little bit like barbershop because perhaps there's a bit of lavender in there. So it is like those darker fragrances that I reviewed, like powerhouses, but it is not animalic. Okay, so there's no, for example, there's balsam fir, suede, there's this leather tone, but nothing really becomes like, you know very much like aramids. Some of the aramids are very could be very wild. This thing doesn't have the wild factor. So it is like Oscar de la Renta Pour Louis, like more wearable version of Kuro's, that one. This is perhaps more wearable version of the powerhouse, a little bit of barbershop style, uh, leather, and the tobacco. So it's not that smoky tobacco. It's basically like tobacco leaves. When you smell this, the rolls that you can get in 7-Eleven or some of the duty-free shops, you can find them. The tobacco is different, the papers are different. You have to literally make it and then smoke it, right? This smells like that. So it is for tobacco lovers. It's a fragrance like literally for people who just are into this for the beauty of the perfume, not like I want something like Rasa Shura. Give me a perfume that is long lasting. So from that point of view, this is not worth it for people who want that. Okay, so it is not worth it in that way. But for me, it has more positive than negative. First positive is I love the way the bottle looks. I love the theme. I love the notes breakdown. Then I also love 125 ml juice, which is this one giving. I think 100 is standard, but 125 ml is always an extra nice bonus to have. And also for winter, if you're not trying to find too sweet fragrances or too obnoxious, this is like right in that family. So my ultimate, I don't know what I said in my last video, which I did years back, check it out. Perhaps I said more negative than positive, but uh, put this back in the shelf, let the November month come, and then that time you'll see the slightly cold weather breeze flowing. You'll really enjoy this for your evening walk, morning walk, cup of tea, coffee. It will be like a nice little cozy, just like Barbados London. Okay, so I think it's a good cousin of somewhere between London and then Spice Bomb Extra, but less sweet, less uh, in your face. Okay, so overall this fragrance, it's a good fragrance. Okay, it's a good fragrance. I will give it that. I'll give this perfume for what it is. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. If this one lasted more than 2 to 3 hours, I would give much higher. But if you see my John Varvatos, I'm not really unhappy about them. I really like the way these fragrances are done. Doesn't matter, like this one, another masterpiece. Okay, Dark Rebel. So these are about fragrances you cannot find. Perhaps only closest thing you can find to near to this is Isimiake Noir Ambre or Isimiake, those noir style perfumes. But that's about it. Not many designer perfumes are doing this. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. Let's do a list, then we'll upload it. Take care. Bye bye.